where there is recorded averages, he's been very, very good. And arguably, one of the best around currently without a tour card.
You mentioned that game against Luke Humphreys. It was a very good version of Luke Humphreys, which he was edged out by as well. Potentially here,
171.
the 12 could be followed by an 11 here for Bartons. He has hit a hot streak. Double 16 for two 12s in a row.
Flag. Andy Bartons. 6.
When he goes straight for it.
Game
of course he does, and finds it. Ends the match
Barton.
with a 13-darter. His winning legs in this match, 12-12, long 20 and a 13 to get it wrapped up. An average just shy of the ton, 99.82, 4-1-80s, 4-1-40s, 50% on the doubles, and he moves on to 20 points. When we come back, Leonard Gates up against Chris Gilliland.
And Chris Gilliland moves himself onto the dance. He doesn't by getting the better of Leonard Gates by 4 legs to 2. He got out the tracks flying, did Chris Gilliland. The first 2 legs won in the space of 30 darts. He then had to find a bit of an uphill battle from Leonard Gates, who found himself on the comeback charge. But in truth, Chris Gilliland was in control of that match. He beats Leonard Gates by 4 legs to 2. Next up, James Richardson is in action. He takes on Luke Littler.
Unscrew and lock in.
Double 13.
Game shot
it's an 11 followed
leg.
by a 12.
Luke Littler.
Luke Littler has got off to a blistering start in this one. Take the lead. He's going to get 2.
Game
he only needs the 1.
Took the gamble,
James
Henry,
Richardson.
and it paid off.
10.
Still a lot to do, but Littler needs a treble. Gets it, double 18.
Game shot out the match.
The tides are changing for Luke Littler because it's his turn to find the final double in a last legger. He wins 4-3 with an average of 101.79. We've already had a 99.82 from Andy Bartons. Well, that's been trumped by Luke Littler, who moves into second spot. Still 6 off the top of the table. When we come back, the man on the top of the table back in action. Andy Bartons takes on Leonard Gates. This 96 finds the 60, double 18.
Game shot the 4 flag. Leonard Gates.
2-0 down. He's produced legs of 13 and 14.
Part of the pressure on this 71 for the match for Andy Bartons. It's 2 in hand, a double 16. To seal a 4-2 success, and it feels like now Andy Bartons is pretty much there. He has put himself 8 points clear of Luke Littler at the top of the table. A 96.34 average. Well, that is pretty much playing to type as far as this week is concerned from the beast from the east. 4 out of 7 on the finishing. Leonard Gates himself, a 95 average. Perfect when it came to the finishing, but he just wasn't afforded chances due to Bartons' brilliance. Well, Luke Littler knows the task now. He's going to have an uphill battle to try and get through. First case first, he's got to beat Geert de Vos after this. Away from sending his compatriot Andy Bartons through to Saturday night's final.
Game
Tops is found, it's 3-1.
Geert de Vos.
And Luke is in a world of trouble here.
112.
Littler to stay in the game. He's got 6 at 112.
Game shot
that's
the 5th
excellent.
leg.
That's absolutely excellent.
But believe it or not, that would lead to even more frustration because
Greased piglet.
when you've got that in your locker, it is lovely. Ball.
Game shot the 6th flag.
Luke 15 Littler. And a 12 levels proceedings. 151 double 10.
115. Look, it requires 60.
So, to keep his chances alive, no flatty this time, but the tops is found for Luke Littler, and it keeps him at least in the race as he gets the better of Geert de Vos by 4 legs to 3. He was in a world of trouble for a long while, but he found his scoring power when it mattered most. He found some big finishing when it mattered most, and so Littler gets the better of de Vos by 4 legs to 3. Next up, Chris Gilliland up against James Richardson in the battle for Group B.
Single 19. Oh, Well, this may be because of the times yesterday he found the 2 treble 19s when he didn't need them, and this time he finds the tops.
Chris Gilliland.
15 dart break of throw.
Points clear in third spot. 6 and 148 for Chris Gilliland. He may do it within the space of 3.
Tops.
128
millimetres away from doing exactly that. He's going to come back for double 10 to seal a 4-1 success.
65. Because you require 20.
An average of 88.04. There's been a few missed doubles in there. Can he find the double now that'll get him over the line? Yes, is the answer. And Chris Gilliland is in cruise control when it comes to the race now for Group B. He moves 4 points clear of James Richardson, ending the race for Leonard Gates in the process. An 86.69 average, 4 out of 14 when it came to the doubling. Gilliland was just too good in the end for James Richardson. 2 defeats from his day thus far. That's the end of round 2 for the day. Round 3 gets underway with Bartons Littler after this. A Bartons meltdown to the end of the day.
180.
Well, I'll tell you what, you just saw there with the point following that 180, just that little bit of aggression that Littler's trying to put into this game. He's going to fight
85.
right up until the very last dart.
Well, I was just saying to Murph Henry, I think the main thing is here is to get a win over him before they eventually face off on
80.
Saturday night.
Luke, you require 141.
Forget about the win. Think about perfection, Luke.
65.
There's sometimes on 9s you think, maybe not. That time you felt there was half a chance.
Yeah, but
140.
he's still got to get this 76.
76.
25. Bullseye. That lie was plumb.
51. And it required 96.
He's missed a 9. He's missed the ball for a 12.
92. Look, you required 25.
And he's nearly lost a leg.
Well, that would have been demonstrative of Andy Bartons as Littler changes the play.
15.
He goes double 10 instead of double
and it
8.
required 4.
Which has caused him heaps of trouble today. He could be in heaps of
Games on
trouble
the first
if
day.
Bartons takes
Andy
out that double
Bartons.
2, which he duly does to lead 1-0.
Yeah, and what Luke is trying to do there, which I think
Second
is the
against
right
Luke
play.
to trophy. 89.
And these two have the potential to break many a record
Game
between
shot
them.
the
And that will make him feel
Luke
a whole
Littler.
lot better. Back-to-back 15s. But more importantly,
Six. And it required 157.
He couldn't, could he? No, he can't. And so Littler back for double 3 for the points.
97. Look,
To
you
reduce
require
the gap
6.
to 4 and to keep Bartons honest. Double 3. He's already had a plethora of match darts. Can't afford to miss again.
No score.
And Bartons is
And it
back for
requires
3-3.
60.
He shouldn't be getting this opportunity.
Game
But
shot
he
the
takes
sixth
it.
flag. Andy Bartons.
wow. I was already filling in my notes. No, 9. It was 9, yeah. 3 visits.
180.
Bartons was on the canvas. He was slugging on the ropes. But he's come back up,
100.
survived the count, and he's come back swinging. Oh my goodness.
180.
No way could Andy Bartons qualify for Saturday night by hitting a 9-darter.
96. And he record 141.
This would be the most incredible way to qualify. Triple 19. Double 12. The brilliant Belgium nearly did it in
117.
style. Littler thought it was in. Littler thought it was going to happen. We all thought it was going to happen.
Would have been the most bizarre way to
44.
win a match he should
and he
have
required
lost.
24. Game
But a
shot
10
and the
will be
match.
enough. And
Andy
the brilliant
Bartons.
Belgium Andy Bartons, who has taken Group A by storm, has qualified for Saturday night's finale. And in some style, he missed double 12 to do it with a 9. 10's enough. He gets the better Luke Littler by 4 legs to 3. And ultimately, that head-to-head is the reason why he is through. Leonard Gates and James Richardson is coming up after this. Follow that. It's double 16. Now it's 8. And that is great for Gates because that moves him onto 8 points. And it means that James Richardson's week is most probably going to end in Group C. Leonard Gates, a 4-3 victor against James Richardson, who had a couple of darts to get the game won himself. It was the only darts. He missed a double in the match, was the 3 to go on and win it. Leonard Gates gets over the line by 4 legs to 3. Next up, Het de Vos against Chris Gilliland, where Gilly can rubber stamp his place into Thursday and Friday night.
56. Parity. Double 12.
Game shot
that's
and
one
the
way
match.
to go about
Het de Vos.
it. De Vos picks up his third win of the week. With an average of 86, 72, 84, 16. Chris Gilliland will be disappointed with that performance. But ultimately, he looks pretty safe in Group B. When we come back, Luke Littler takes on Leonard Gates.
Suddenly lit a spark. Bull. Brilliant.
Game shot on the 4 flag.
12
Luke
darter
Littler.
for Littler. It's 3-1. It moved on to 20 point. Tops. For 4-1 win. And Luke Littler seals success against Leonard Gates as a 4-1 victory for the Nuke. An 88.89 average, 4 out of 13 on the doubles. He just had too much in the end for Leonard Gates. 1 out of 6 on the doubles, but it was the scoring power of Littler that proved too much for the American ace. And so, time for a break. And when we return, we are going to begin the coronation of Andy Bartons. We'll let him begin his victory lap as he takes on Chris Gilliland after this.
And he requires 118.
As you rightly said, Henry, Andy Bartons is never out of a leg. Can he find tops?
Game shot on the first leg. Andy
Very
Bartons.
much a case in point there.
Call it a bricathlon. Double 16. For
Game shot on the
14.
third leg.
And Andy Bartons has just begun to make a little bit of a kick after a slow start, a 14 darter to break Gilliland and lead 2-1.
We should require 58.
So Gilliland should get 2 darts at tops now to seal a 4-2 success and become only the second player in the group to depose of Andy Bartons.
Game
Tops
shot
is found by Gilliland.
Chris
Yes, it is
Gilliland.
in. He had to double check. Yes, you have beaten Bartons, Chris. Only the second time it's happened this week. An 86-85 average in the end, 4 out of 10 when it came to the doubling. And so Andy Bartons isn't going to get the record in terms of points in Group A, but he's going to have one more game last up against James Richardson to move on to 26. Richardson is in action next. He plays his 4th game of 5 against Het de Vos.
You require 114.
So 114 for Richardson. 94 less, so treble 18.
Game shot on
That's
the
excellent
first
from James
leg.
Richardson. He
James
leads Het de Vos
Richardson.
by a leg to 0. And as de Vos was lurking on 56, Richardson takes out a ton topper, a whopper.
16.
As the Fox sniffed out the right time to find a big
shot and the
victory.
match. Good
As he gets the better of James Richardson by 4 legs to 1, a 91.84 average, and 50% when it came to the doubling for the Belgian. And it means he leaves the foot of the table, and it puts Gates on the bottom rung of this particular ladder, going into the final round of fixtures where they will face each other, sandwiched in the middle of our 3 matches. Next up for us is going to be a final run out for the players in 2 and 3 position in the group. We're going to be in Group B no matter what, Chris Gilliland and Luke Littler, but can they finish on a high after this?
Game shot on the third leg. Luke Littler.
Dean Dart, break back.
Require 100.
Surely tops. Another one of them.
Game shot on the fourth
nonchalant.
leg.
Brilliant.
Luke Littler.
Fantastic from Luke Littler.
We need a max to do that. Here it comes.
180.
9 of the very best. And that is a joint record.
Here's it. A 180 every single
100
leg of this
Look, you
match.
require 140.
And ironically, his first 140 of the match could have been to win it.
82.
He's going to come back. But if Gilliland can give us a Hail Mary maximum, we would have broken all sorts of records. Well, this has been real good fun. I hope you've enjoyed this.
46.
Because Luke Littler
Look,
is
you
on the
require
cusp of
58.
sealing victory in a record-tying game. Tops for Littler for a 4-2 victory and the most special of matches. We saw 9 maximums in 6 legs of darts. Luke Littler's average ticking just above the ton. He had 6 180s. Yes, 6 of them in that game. 4 out of 9 on the doubles. What a superb match we have been laid witness to here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Just a couple more to go, but there's going to be some crackers. Bartons Richardson last up, but next it's DeVos against Gates to level back up. 114. And so the Shanghai on 19s for Kurt DeVos.
Kurt DeVos.
To level us up at 2 apiece. At least get a dart of the bull. 14. Trebles a bonus, double 11 to get it wrapped up. And Kurt DeVos does a 4-2 victory against Leonard Gates, which means he's going to finish 4th in the Group A table, puts himself 4th temporarily in the Group A table, with James Richardson still to play. As for Leonard Gates, he's going to be the bottom place player as far as Group A is concerned. 8 points from his campaign. DeVos is on 10. If Richardson loses to Bartons next, he'll finish 4th. A win for Richardson would put him into that 4th place and DeVos down to 5th. And so the final game of the group, Bartons Richardson, is coming up next.
Good start, Stato.
Tops for Bartons.
Games
1-0
on the first
Bartons,
leg.
and that's
Andy
a
Bartons.
saying we've been saying quite a lot this week. Bit like 1-0 to the Arsenal.
2 12s.
Games on the second
You
leg.
mentioned
Andy
about
Bartons.
winning 4-0.
Maxi! 130!
180.
Oh, hello. The record could be on.
140.
Well, he missed double 12 for a 9 darter early on today, Andy Bartons. And he may leave us with a bit of perfection.
180.
He has had a nigh on perfect campaign.
140.
He may
and
finish
it was
it
141.
in perfect style. Not to be, but that maximum has levelled the record for 180s in a Group A
105.
campaign. If Richardson can find a max here, we'll break the record, but it's not going to happen on this occasion. And so Bartons comes back for a 10-dart leg
89, and it
to
required
complete
36.
Group A. Remarkably.
Game shot
Well,
and
Andy
the match.
Bartons has
Andy
been
Bartons.
a step above in Group A over the last 3 days. He has qualified for Saturday night's finals. Pretty much had a canter. He was pushed at times, but every single time someone probed him, he just seemed to have an answer. He beats James Richardson by 4 legs to 1. A 91.35 average, teased us with the 9 as well. And in a group where he tied the record for 180s in 131, it is Andy Bartons, who is the Group A victor.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yeah, Andy Bartons, he didn't get his 4-0, he didn't get his 9 darter, but he got just about everything else, didn't he?
Yeah, and his second 10 darter of the day, he just has that insane ability of just really turning it on. Just when he looks like he might just be going off the boil and maybe a little bit susceptible, he finds another gear.
Yeah, some really good stuff in this group. A little bit strange that it was perhaps dominated by one player, despite being arguably the highest quality group we've seen for a while.
Yeah, and that just testament to how well he's played at the right times. I think it was a record equaling 131 180s for the group. That shows you how high quality it actually was all the way through. All the numbers stack up to being one of our best ever Group A's.
Right, let's have a recap of the results from today. Bartons, he was beaten by Chris Gilliland. It's been one of those groups as well, hasn't it? We've seen it more today, where despite that dominance from Andy, really any of these players in any given match can beat any of the others.
Yeah, it's all about timing, isn't it? We speak so much about timing, especially in darts, and finding them right shots at the right times. And it's something that Andy managed to do more than any other player. But he lost once yesterday to the player he just lost to there in James Richardson. Went through the card unbeaten on Monday. To drop just in a group of this level, to drop just 2 games, that's outstanding.
Well, let's hear from the group winner now. Andy Bartons is talking to Henry Deacon.
Andy, many congratulations. What a debut that's been.
Yeah, thank you. It was been 3 days. I played very well. The group is phenomenal. From Geert to Leonard to Luke to James to Chris. It's a fantastic group.
Let's talk about today. And first off, talk about the 9 dart attempts. You missed double 12 for it. How did you feel as that 9th dart left your hand?
Yeah, I thought maybe go in. Yeah, it was not going. Then I took 10 darter. So yeah.
As far as this week's concerned, there was a big build-up. There was a lot of attention on you as you came into the Super Series. Do you feel like you've lived up to those types of expectations so far?
Yeah, I think so. I played three days very well, I think. So I'm happy to stay here. I'm happy.
Moving into Saturday night, I suppose the parameters for you, it's got to be to win it, hasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I play good. We see well Saturday.
And what's going to be the process between now and then? Is it just going to be a little bit of resting, relaxing between now and Saturday?
Yeah, a little bit relaxing. I'm going to look at Garrett now. We will see.
Well, Andy, many congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah, he gets a couple of days rest now, Mace. Had that 9-darter attempt earlier that he spoke about. You were stood here at the start of the show saying you fancied a 9-darter today, and Andy Bartons nearly provided it. Yeah,
it was a tremendous effort. And again, we literally just touched on about doing the right things at the right times. He was in all sorts of trouble here. He'd faced, I think it was 9 match darts against Luke Littler, back-to-back 180s. And at this stage, you think, well, that's just creeped in. Finds a treble 19. Luke thinks it's in. I think we thought it was in the comms box. So he eventually went out in 10, and ultimately that was the point in which he qualified.
Yeah, that was the moment he made it against his closest rival, but not that close, Luke Littler. And we'll be able to see that by getting a final look at the Group A table, which has been all about Andy Bartons. But Littler and Gilliland going into Group B, I mean, all of the players have got the potential to get through their respective groups.
Yeah, absolutely. We've certainly seen enough of them when they've been at their absolute best that they're going to be problems for everybody in each of the groups they find themselves in. Luke Littler will be a little bit disappointed, but missed a lot of doubles at key moments. He puts that right. He would. I mean, the 3 matches that stand out that he lost, 3 of them were against Andy Bartons, and well, that was the 6 points difference in the end between top and second. So that could well have been the other way around. I think Gilliland will. I think he'll go well in his group, but you would think on Saturday night they're going to have to find another level, because right now the outstanding 2 in terms of averages, 180s, every element of the game, the 2 standout are the top 2 in the table.
Yeah, and we've got some other really good players coming in to the action this week as well. We'll take a look at the groups for the rest of the week. So Barton's through, he can put his feet up. Group B getting underway tomorrow night, joining Gilliland and Littler, David Cameron, Jordan Brooks and Kieran Tiernan. But focus will be on Group C tomorrow afternoon. Lee Cox, Harry Ward and the return of Matt Clark, who's been very successful here as well. Yeah,
it's not often that the Group C looks tastier than the Group B, but on this occasion it certainly does. That's you do well to pick 2 out of that 6.
Yeah, well, we will find out. We'll play it out tomorrow. But Andy Bartons has been the main man. Look, just one last question on him. We know that the Group A winner doesn't always go and win at finals, not or even get to the final. But if he carries on playing this way, he's gonna be favourite, isn't he?
Yeah, we've mentioned it before. We've mentioned it in comms a few times. You know, when you talk about players that look destined to end up on the PDC Pro Tour, he's one of them. He looks like he's got every element of the game, and he's not just doing it here. He's won 4 consecutive tournaments in the WDF. He looks like he's a player who's beginning to peak and has got belief. He played very well in the last WDF World Championships as well, of course. So, yeah, he's going to be hard to stop. But if one man can do it, it's Luke Littler.
Well, we hope you can join us to see if that happens on Saturday. We also hope you can join us tomorrow when you'll get double servings of darts, 10 p.m. for Group B tomorrow evening, live on Sporty Stuff TV and the Motor Super Series YouTube channel, which is where the action starts at 1 p.m. for Group C. But as far as Group A has been concerned this week, well, the first finals night place has been booked by the brilliant Belgian Bartons. Bye-bye.